Hey, what's up, ladies? It's the relationship guru, Sid Farrell, and I have a special guest with me today. She want to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Nia Marie on Instagram. Love Nia Marie. I'm from Houston, and I'm here to talk with my boy Said about some relationship topics. Hope you enjoy.
All right. So in this video, we're going to discuss the reasons why dating right nowadays is hard in this generation. So you want to do one first, or
Yeah. Uh, some of the things that I think plays a big part in us having a hard time dating in this generation has a lot to do with social media, plays a big part in it, and then also too not really knowing what we want for ourselves in order to be able to, make the best decision for our lives and the dreams that we have for our lives. So those are some of the things that I think has a big part in it. What about you?
well, one thing I have written down is music. Like the type of music that we listen to. Like we black, we listen to rap, we listen to a lot of vulgar things. So like a lot of the music that you listen to, the lyrics, when you sing along and you hear all those lyrics and everything, a lot of those lyrics are like they're telling you pass the bitches to the side, or I got the nigga here or
Yeah,
whatever, and
that's
it's not
true.
it's not really like uh anything that's mending relationships together. It's more so breaking relationships apart, like just saying like, hey, they're promoting being free to like do whatever,
Right.
and it's not really promoting relationships anyways,
Yeah.
nowadays. So
That is true. That is true. They're making it seem as though it's a good thing to not be in a relationship or not try and build towards, a marriage or things like that. So that is true. It does play a big part in it.
right.
Hmm.
And then so another thing we're gonna talk about is social media. So like since social media has gotten big, especially nowadays, uh, men and women, they got so many options, and especially like women, like they get DMs all day long, and you know, dudes are always just trying to get at them whoop de whoop. So like women got all these options, so they like, well, shit, I got all these dudes. I don't really need to just have one when I got all these dudes doing whatever
Right.
for me. And the same thing with dudes. Dudes like shit. I got this girl. I like her for this. I like her for this. So you got all these options. So it might be hard for whether you a man or a woman to just find love or just find that one person because you got so many options to choose from.
Yeah.
If you got a lot to choose from, it's hard to pick one. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
what else you got to say about social media?
Um, yeah. I mean, I just think like you said, just the fact of it's a lot of different options, a lot of different grasses. Grass is always greener on the other side, or so it appears. So, you know, that's I think that's true.
Right. And then another thing I was gonna say is TV. So like reality TV or like just like celebrity relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
they're more
like
public now.
yeah. So it's so public that anytime somebody makes a mistake or anything happens, it's like the norm now. Like, oh, she got cheated on, or oh, he did this, or oh, whatever, and it's promoting that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's in your business with and even with just reality TV. Like when you look at reality TV, you see all these toxic relationships and stuff. It's not healthy for a person seeing that to say it's not cool to be yelling at each other and be cussing each
Hmm.
other out and be what I'm saying, like stuff
Yeah,
like that. So
that's all you see, down your timeline. I mean, you're gonna automatically assume that that's normal and that's what people are supposed to do. So, yeah.
right.
And then I think too, a lot of it has to do with our upbringing, and then people who they're being raised by. So, long time ago, our parents and maybe even their parents, the two-parent household. You didn't really see a lot of divorce, a lot of breaking up. They, sustained their relationships as much as possible. Whereas today, he cheats and they leave, and which I mean, every situation is different. So for some, that's what you're supposed to do, but for others, they may want to go ahead and work it out. So it's just a lot of different things to where people are being raised a little bit different now. So what was important back then may not be important now, or they didn't have that example of their mom holding down their dad when things got rough or things like that. So you don't see it. You don't know that's how you're supposed to act, or you don't know this is how things are supposed to go. So you're relying on things like social media to kind of teach you and guide you, and a lot of that information is filth.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
But something else that's not even on here, like going back to like your parents, like
Mhm.
having like your parents, like a lot of us, like even just being like in the black community or just like it just in general period, like
Right.
you may not have both parents, as an example to say this is what a marriage, this is what a relationship should be like. So if
Mhm.
you see, so a lot of us grew up in single mother households, right? So if you see your mom growing up saying, "Hey, I'm mommy and daddy. I don't need no man. I'm independent. Whatever."
Yeah.
Then that's all you
That's
gonna
all
know,
you know.
and if you're a woman and that's your mom and you're her daughter, you're looking at her like, damn, I don't need no man either. My mama did it, so I don't need no man either.
Right.
And and then by you saying that, you already destroying the relationship by you saying I don't need no man. And
Mhm.
same thing with the men, like you know they might have a deadbeat daddy that ain't do shit for them, so it's like shit, my dad ain't never do nothing for me.
And I turned out okay.
Right.
So
So shit,
yeah,
that
the
little nigga be
cycle
okay.
continues. Yeah, the
you
cycle
know.
continues. So yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they don't really have any type of like a role model
Mhm.
of a relationship, you know. But if they do have a two-parent household and they can get to see like their mother and their father kissing and together and loving each other and going on dates doing stuff, and then
Mhm.
you get to see that for yourself. So
Yeah, and that's true. And then if you do grow up in that type of household, like for myself, I
mm,
did. So with growing up kind of in this generation, you don't, it's kind of harder for you to find someone that you're equally yoked with.
right.
So, not saying that you can't have a successful relationship with someone that was raised by a single parent if you weren't, and vice versa, but just, it's kind of hard for you to find someone that grew up on those same values. So, you just kind of got to understand what you want out of life, what type of relationship you want, and just don't settle. Might take you a little bit longer, but don't settle, just to have somebody to call your own. You really want someone to kind of have those same values as you do, which can be hard in this generation.
Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, so we have another one we have is people don't go on dates anymore.
Yeah.
So if so really like nowadays, even just with the social media tied into it, I feel like nowadays like everything's just so microwave fast. Like you meet somebody, you have them over the same day, y'all fuck, y'all have sex, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? And everything's
Yeah.
so fast, so microwave that nobody's taking the time out to really see like what's up with
Do
this
you
person
even
that I'm
like this
actually
person? Yeah.
getting myself involved with.
Yeah. Can you hold a conversation? Can you sit in a room and be quiet
Right.
and it still be, a good vibe? Like, yeah, I think that's very important. And like you said, with a lot more things that's going on as far as like the social activity
Mm.
that people are doing. So, you meet somebody, a guy, you might be in a club and you meet a guy and, he tells you, hey, I got a section at wherever, let's go out. And that's y'all first quote unquote date. You got alcohol, you got drugs and other type of loud music and this and that. So you're not really getting a chance to see him, in his own, just him by himself without all that extra glitz and glam. So you don't even know if you really even can hold an intellectual conversation with him, but you like the way that he looks holding up a bottle in a section. So it's like, yeah, it's hard to date and find someone that actually wants to go and sit down and have a conversation with you and really get to know who you are.
Right. That and then, like you said, like and everything's just so fast nowadays. Like I can see you meet somebody and then like next thing you know y'all having sex and that's it. So it's like nobody's dating, nobody's courting, nobody's actually taking the time out to say, hey, what's up with this person? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are your
Right.
pet peeves? What are your childhood traumas? Like
Mhm.
nobody knows anything. You just with this person.
And then also too, I think a lot of times women, um, we have a tendency to allow the man to ask all the questions and get all the answers that he needs in order for us to, in order for him to win us over in a sense. And I feel like we don't ask enough questions sometimes. So, you've had that conversation with the guy, hey, what's your favorite color? What do you like? What's something that makes you happy? What you dislike, this and that. You're giving him all the tools he needs to manipulate you and make you like him and, think this, that, and the third. But yet, out of all that, you haven't asked him what he likes. You haven't asked him what he dislikes likes. You haven't gotten down to the grit of him and knowing, what you need to know about him. And a lot of times, I think us as women, we always do that, you know, and we just don't ask enough questions. And then the questions that we do ask may not be the right ones, and then the answers that we get, like, are you looking for a relationship or whatever? I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, but if one comes along, I might be open. You hear the last part, you don't hear the first part. I'm not looking for a relationship. You know,
Yeah.
colon, semicolon, whatever.
Right.
But if one comes along, but you're not seeing the fact of he's not looking for one right now. So we put it in our heads sometimes as women. Well, if I stay, if I stay down long enough, or I could change him because I'm a really good person, I'm a woman, this and that. And it's like you can't go into it that way. Take him for what he says. He's not ready for a relationship, and you guys just be friends. And if he ever comes to you and tells you that he is ready, or he does see you in that light, then you guys can move forward as such. But a lot of times we don't do that
That's
as
true.
women, and that's how we get hurt. And then too, I just feel like a lot of times, and this is men and women both, our actions don't match our words a lot of times, and we have to start to pay attention to that, because I've been a victim of it myself. Me thinking that I'm with this guy and I met his parents and his kids and everything else, and 2-3 weeks down the road I found out he got a baby on the way, and it's like, to me, I'm the type of person where, if we're not serious in this thing, I'm not about to introduce you to my parents. I'm not about to, this and that. So for me, I took that as a sign of, oh, he must really like me. We're
Right.
serious, da 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 da. But all in actuality, he must bring everybody around his mama. I don't know.
Right.
But so it's like those are type of things that you have to ask those questions. What's important to you, this and that, and everything. And had I asked those questions, maybe I would have kind of seen that maybe we don't hold certain things at the same level of importance as each other, and things like that. So
That's true.
mhm.
I feel like we like, okay, just like if you go on like a job, right? If you're applying for a job, I feel like nowadays, like relationships, like you just put your application in, you got the job. Like it's no interview process. Like,
That's
who
true.
are you?
That
let
is
me
true.
let me see what's up. And the good jobs, they got a couple interviews where
Yeah.
before you even
Third
know if
interview
you know what I'm
type
saying,
stuff,
if you
yeah.
got the job. So you mean to tell me that
And the drug test.
right, and a drug test. So you mean to tell me that a job
Mhm.
has more qualifications or more like requirements than you as a person in your own personal relationship?
Right.
Like,
That is a good way of putting it out. Yeah, that's a good way
because
to
a
look
job,
at
they
it.
gonna screen you. They want to see what's up with you, where you come from, what's up with background. They gonna check your background, everything, see
No,
what's up
that's
with
true.
you.
That is very
And
true.
we don't do that as people. We don't go to each other and check their background and see. And even us as even dudes, we don't even go into like a lot of I guess relationships, or like whenever we're trying to see about a woman or whatever, we don't go into it, like with the same with that type of mentality, like, oh, I want to get to know her, I really want to see what's up with her. A lot of times, dudes is only one thing that's on that mind. You know what I'm saying? But and that's not all dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes that that are looking for
Yeah.
a nice woman and stuff. But a lot of dudes, shoot, that's that's all you see. So that's what you want. So you're not even looking. You're not even looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a mindset that I'm gonna come into this relationship knowing this is what I want and this is what I'm standing for, and not
Right.
just, oh, I see one thing I want and I'm out. And I think that's what's messing everybody up, is that everything is so fast, so like I said, microwaved, and everybody's just so like everything's easy. Like it's easy nowadays. Like it's not hard. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely not hard to work for certain things, and I think us as women kind of play a part in that too, because now we accept more than what we used to as a whole. We accept the man that say, oh, I'm just I'm gonna be with you, but I'm gonna have women on the side. Well, at least he was honest, like, you know what I'm saying, like little things like that. And it's like those are the things that have changed. So now men are moving forward like, hey, well, shoot, she let me do this and she let me do this, and what you won't do, another one will, like that type of mentality. And it's vice versa too for women too, because it's like half of the good men that's out here, quote unquote, on paper good men, they may not be the trap star, or be able to pay your rent, or be able to give you an allowance of this how much or whatever. So a lot of girls, they automatically dismiss this person because they can't do this, that, and the third. When we ain't men ain't put. I feel like men are not put on this earth to pay your bills in this. They're supposed to, be your partner and help you with this, and but it's supposed to be a team type thing, not
Mm-hmm.
one just giving, giving, giving. So even for men, like, you gotta, when you're looking for a woman, you gotta figure out what it is that she wants, and you gotta make sure that that matches up to what you want. Because a lot of times men want this fine ass woman,
Mm.
and this and that, but I mean, most of those fine ass women are very superficial. They want all the glitz and the glam. They don't really care, how you feel, or the day that you having a hard time in the field, or where you at work or whatever. You want to come home, you want to be pressed, and you want to be able to speak to your woman and this and that. Yeah, you come home, they're like, what you bought me today? What you da 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 da? So it's like,
Right.
you gotta find somebody that's gonna be able to give you that peace, not just who looks good on your arm. So
For sure, for sure. And same thing with women too. Like,
yeah, that's true.
because a lot of women, they see, oh, he got this money, or he got a nice car, or he this and he that, but you're not seeing like the other red flags that that he may have. He got a whole nother family somewhere, and you just tripping off the fact that he driving in a Mercedes or something. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, that's true. And I feel like social media has also made it very popular for you to want, for women and young girls growing
Mm.
up. Their first thing is they want to be somebody's baby mama with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money. It ain't no I'm trying to get married. It ain't none of that. It's who, what rap star, what basketball player that I can go have sex with, have a baby, so I can secure the bag for the
Mm.
rest of my life, as opposed to who I can find that I'm equally yoked with, that we can build an empire, that we can, that type of thing. So I think that's a big problem too, because people are not looking to get married; they're just looking to secure the bag.
So you feel like
On the cost of someone else, not
right,
by yourself and building for yourself, but on the cost of someone else's hard work. And I think that's no good.
right, right, right. Okay, and then another one I have is people have a hard time being alone,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, people do have a hard time being alone. Like whether you a man or a female, like you in your phone, you have so much power in your phone. You got everybody hitting you up. You got all this attention, and like lose your phone for one day and see how you feel. Like if you're not getting no likes on your pictures or nothing, like you feel like whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are so used to having getting attention. People are so used to just having so many options and stuff like that that they haven't had time to just sit down and do a self reflection of
Mhm.
themselves, because before you even get into a relationship with anybody else, first
Mhm.
of all, you need to work on yourself
No,
first
that's
of
true.
all before you want to jump into something else with somebody else.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be overall complete within yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes another thing that's not on here is a lot of people, they look for other people to complete them. you
Yes.
know
Yes.
and
That is very
they
true.
don't, because they can't find that happiness within themselves.
Mhm.
So they're constantly like just going out there just trying to find whoever, what I'm saying, to just fill that void and just
Mhm.
help them out with whatever they need and stuff like that, emotionally. But
No, that is very
you
true.
know
That is very true. They definitely use others to kind of fill the void and feel like they always need someone. You know, whether the relationship doesn't work, you pick up somebody new.
mhm,
It can never be alone. And it's like, how are you going to be able to, add to something when you're not full yourself? It just doesn't work that way. So,
mhm,
you know, but a lot of it I think has to do with more inner issues, mental, you know, capacity and all that type of stuff. Just, I don't know, like I said, just being able to figure out what the problems are with yourself,
mhm.
and being able to fix that outside of someone else. But that takes a lot of self reflection, a lot of
Yeah.
alone time, and a lot of people don't want to be alone with those personal demons. So they self medicate with the
Mhm,
multiple sexual partners, with
mhm,
the alcohol, with the going out and being around people all the time, with the booty pictures on Instagram, making sure they get 1,000 likes today. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't get 1,000 likes today, they failed. Like,
Hurt.
yeah, that type of thing. So it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. It just touches on another whole nother topic of, you know, mental and emotional um, care, I guess, for yourself.
I got a question. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like, just like, okay, I'm gonna go off what you just said. Do you feel like the women that are showing like their ass and whatever on Instagram, do you feel like those women make it hard on themselves to find love?
I mean, in a sense, but it all has to stem down to like what your definition of love is.
Mm.
If your definition of love is just finding somebody that is gonna scoop you up and show you a show you like physical, I don't know how to put it, but like not real like emotional um, love, but
Mm.
just like showing you by buying you things and taking care of your bills and this and that, then in that aspect, it doesn't hurt them. But if they're really looking for some real intellectual, teamwork with a person and being able to build and things like that, sometimes it does hurt them. But I mean, like for me, I don't really show all that online myself. My DMs to me, I feel like are pretty dry.
Mm.
Even though some people may consider me as a beautiful woman, whatever.
Mm.
But then on the other hand, I do have some friends that do show their ass all the time, and all that type of stuff, and their DMs are blowing up. And it's like, but when you look at those DMs, who is it that's hitting them? Niggas
Yeah.
that's like, let me cash app you, let me get some pictures, let me come on so I can take you out, let me fly you out. But all they want is just what they see in the pictures. They don't care what your
That's
favorite
true.
color is. They don't care, what makes you cry, what makes you happy. They just want what they see in those pictures.
Mm.
And if you're okay with that, then do your thing. And if physical gratification is enough for you, and somebody paying your bills and everything, and that's enough for you, then do your thing. But if you want more, then I think you have to kind of shift and you get what you put out. So if you want to be respected, you want to be, you know, seen as a wife or whatever,
Mm.
then you need to carry yourself as such.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because honestly that might be one of the reasons why it might be hard to find
Mhm.
relationships out here because if you as a man if you're looking
Mhm.
for a wholesome woman, and everything to take home to mom and everything,
Mhm.
and you look on the woman page and that's all you see, you like damn I don't know if I can take her home to my mama, but
Mhm. And not only, I mean, no man. It doesn't matter what he tells you. No man is wants his homeboys and his family members to see his woman naked.
that's true.
Swimsuit or lingerie set or not. They don't want you to even know what they woman look like in those type of outfits. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have a friend that I know of, and she had started dating this guy, and after they start dating, he was like, "You need to stop posting pictures like that. You need to, clean it up a little bit. Like, stop." And she was like, "Well, you start following me when I was doing this. This is what I was doing before I knew you, and this is what I'm gonna do after you. So why do I need to change?" And it's like you weren't his before, so it didn't matter.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but now you're his. Now you're, his woman. You're a representation of him. So now it's like, of course he don't want all that out like that. That's his. That's for his eyes only.
Yeah.
So, but some women don't think of it that way.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably one main reason why.
Mhm.
Uh, and then another one is so the reverse gender roles.
Mm.
So men acting like women and women acting like men.
Yeah.
So women have become more independent, in especially like recent society. Like women, especially black women, they're getting the education, they're leveling up in corporate America. Like they getting the money. You know what I'm saying? And
Which nothing wrong with that.
right, yeah, for
But
sure.
don't forget to let a man be a man also. Don't be so independent to where you're like, fuck you, I don't need you, da 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 da, or you feel like your status is so much higher than him that you're starting to belittle him and oh, I make more money than you and da da, like, mm-mm,
Yeah. So I feel like, and then with women being so independent, like what you say, there's nothing wrong with having your own,
Mm-hmm.
but then it comes to a point where like when you say you don't need I don't need you, I don't want you, I can do it by myself. It's like dang, like you're not even putting out the energy to even receive a man that would even want to
Mm-hmm.
help you out or want to.
And your words are powerful.
Yeah,
When
for
you say
sure.
you don't need a man,
You say I
you
don't
have
need a
one.
man, you won't have one. I don't.
That's the truth.
That's true.
And you might not need him
Right.
for financial
Hmm.
or anything like that, and that's fine. But you need him for the emotional. You need him for the partnership. You need him to be able to guide you in a sense.
Hmm.
Not tell you what to do, but guide you in a sense as being the man of the household. That's just how it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Man is supposed to lead, and God is supposed to lead the man.
Hmm.
Like that's just human nature. That's how it was set up. So,
Hmm.
you know, yeah.
So now you feel like women are more so trying to lead now. Is that the case now? Are women leading more, or are men like not being leaders?
I think it's a half and half. I think it's half and half. I mean, I think it came to a point to where women had no choice
Mm.
but to be the leaders, you know. But and then even with if they did have a man or they did come across a man that was willing to take that role or take some of that weight off of them, they didn't really know how to be submissive or how
Right.
to kind of take it back a little bit and let you lead some.
Mm.
It was just I've been doing it for this long. Whether you stay or go, I'm still gonna be all right. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And which is that's good. I mean, every man kind of wants their woman to be independent because if God forbid something were to happen to his job or something like that, I want to know that
Yeah.
my lady
For
can,
sure. For sure.
carry me until I
For
get back
sure.
on my
For
feet.
sure.
But not to the point to where you won't even allow me to be a man and be
Right.
able to add to and
Mm.
guide you and do what I'm supposed to do. But I mean, I think that's how it's kind of comes sometimes a little bit of half and half. Some men are not leading whether they don't want to or they don't know how to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it might be because, and sometimes it might be because they don't know how to,
Yeah.
because nobody has properly taught them how to be a man, how to hold yourself accountable, how to
Yeah.
move like a man, how
Yeah.
to not, let shit knock you off center, like how to put your foot down, lead,
Mhm.
pave the way, you know what I'm saying, put on for
No, that's very
yourself, your
true.
family, everybody, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and a lot of times I feel like even with like a lot of these men, they are raised by women.
Women. Mhm.
So if you a man and you are raised by a woman, you can still be a man, and it's a lot of men that are raised by women, but a lot of times, you subconsciously pick up those tendencies, a lot of those
You do.
tendencies. If you are a son and you have a mother and you have a single mother and your mom or like sisters and stuff and a house full of women, you might catch yourself rolling your eyes one day, or you know what I'm saying, and you like,
Mhm.
damn, where did this come from, but it's just a subconscious like women tendency, you know what I'm saying. So like a lot of men are carrying a lot of women tendencies and characteristics and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
not even knowing it.
No, that's true. That's true. And then with the women, kind of becoming the man, the gender role switch. It's like I know, like for me
Mm.
in particular, I was in a relationship with a guy, and he hurt me really, really bad, like super bad. And then moving forward, once I finally got out of that relationship, in my relationships after that, I did kind of see myself, carrying on some of his traits,
Mm.
kind of turning into the man that hurt me type
Mm.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna leave myself vulnerable for him to hurt me again. So I'm gonna have
Mm.
this defense up. I'm gonna, shoot, it don't. As long as I don't see it, I don't care. Like,
Right.
those type of things. Well, no, that's not how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a woman. I'm supposed to let him know what I expect, what I, won't back down when it comes to what I want out of a man and things like that. So yeah, I think both women and men have kind of done a gender switch when it comes to certain things.
Do you feel like people like allow a lot of like bullshit to happen also, and that's the reason why like because like I'm saying like people are like manipulating a lot of times like nowadays. So do you
Hmm.
feel like people like going back to like catching the red flags and stuff? Do you feel like people ignoring those red flags and like those signals and stuff are like
hindering them from finding true love because they keep getting played every time? Like,
Yeah, I do. I do. But then it goes back to, like I said, wanting you got to know what you want.
mm,
You got to fully know who you are
mm,
first, and then you got to know what you want out of your life,
mm,
so that when the wrong thing does come along, you're able to see that and understand that, no, this is a red flag. This is not what I want for my life. I need to
mm-hmm.
move around. Um, so if you're not really in tune with what you want, then you're not gonna really notice what a red flag is, or you're not gonna know that this is kind of messed up, or this is what I'm not gonna tolerate.
Right.
So, and that's why people be in relationships where they'll tolerate this, that, and the third, but
Mm,
when they get out of it and they learn, the next person can't even think of doing something
right.
like that,
Right.
because it's just like, nah, you're not getting that past me.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just all a learning experience, but yeah, you definitely, it's very important to know what you want for yourself and what you want for your future, and what a partner bringing something to the what that looks like, so that you know when it comes along and it doesn't add up to what you want, you kind of know, like, okay, I need to move around, or I need to can't move forward with you, or that.
So how do we fix all this? So like, what's the solution? How do we get on track? How do men and women both find each other again and come together again? How how
They
how how,
gotta
how do how do we do this? What's
you
what's
gotta take the
what's the
time.
secret?
I mean, you just gotta take the time to fix the inner issues that you have with yourself, if
Mm,
any.
mm,
And then, like I said, you have to really, and if you need to write it down step by, one by one, what
mm,
it is that you want in a person, and be specific. What you want in a person, and don't settle for that. Don't leave no room for, oh well, he doesn't have this, or he doesn't have that. I mean, I'm not
mm,
saying like be so about your list that you just say no to everybody, but
mm,
the important things that are on your list. You want him to be family oriented. You want him to be goal, oriented, and things
mm,
like those are important things that you want, and those are the things that you shouldn't settle for. So I think the first step to fixing it is knowing yourself.
mm.
Second, knowing what you want,
Right.
and that way, when you're moving forward and you're out there looking for it, you know kind of what you're looking for. And if it's not that, don't bother with it.
Right. So another question: do you feel like people's? I'm going off of what you said about people's lists. Do
Mhm.
you feel like people's lists are like sometimes unrealistic,
Mhm.
or sometimes maybe like, I don't know, like just not,
Yeah,
some,
I
you know
mean,
what
that's why
I'm
I say don't get a list to where it's like, oh, he gotta be 6'3", he
saying?
gotta be light skinned with pretty eyes, he gotta
Right.
make six figures, he gotta have all these muscles and like, not nothing like that, but a list of the core things.
Mm.
So believe in God,
Mm.
family oriented, goal oriented. Like, those are things that are very important,
Mm.
that kind of make or break a person, make or break a connection with somebody. So
Right.
those core things that are on your list, those are the things that you can't, kind of give into.
Mm.
But the superficial things,
Right. Right.
him
Right.
being 6'3" and this and that, like
Mm.
that type of stuff. I mean, if it adds up, cool. But if it's not, then that's fine. But as long as he got those core things,
Right.
I think that's kind of the list that you need to be paying attention to,
Right.
not all the superficial stuff.
Right, because even with like men too, like men may go out and looking for like the bad bitch or like whoever,
Mhm.
but your soulmate might be a 7. Your soulmate might be a decent girl. She might not be
Mhm.
Beyonce. She might be whoever. You know what I'm saying? So she might
Yeah.
not be. And even with women, like your
Mhm.
soulmate might not be fucking 6 whatever. He might be a
Mhm.
5 foot nigga, but he got heart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, just pay attention to those core things that are non-negotiables for you, and just stick to those and pay attention to those and ask tons of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just sit here and just go with the flow. No, life is too short. You can't go with the flow. I need to know what do you think is important? What do you do for self growth?
Yeah.
That's a question that we definitely don't ask.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you read books? Do you listen to audio tapes? Do you listen to spiritual, whatever? Like,
Right.
what do you do? Do you meditate? You know, what? So it's just, you gotta ask enough questions, and then, like I say, just having those core things that are most important to you that you don't settle on when you're looking for somebody as a partner in
Right.
life.
And work on yourself. For
Oh
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and yeah, never, go into it like you're perfect because you're not. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
And a lot of times, you know what? And if I feel like if we being honest, like a lot of times, you might not even realize it, but you the toxic one. Like you're the toxic one.
Yep.
You may not. You wonder why you get into every relationship like, damn, this ain't work. Damn, this ain't work. Damn, this ain't work. What's the common denominator with all these?
Yeah.
You.
You have
You
to
know what I'm
take that
saying?
time.
Like
You do.
you might be the one that has not fully healed. And that goes back to healing yourself and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Because if you haven't healed yourself or you haven't found yourself, then you're gonna be out hurting everybody else, and then
Yeah.
you wondering why shit ain't working out with everybody else, but you're the reason why. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You're the toxic one putting that toxic energy out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And then even for those that are in a relationship, and of course, relationships aren't perfect, but you also have to take that time to talk to your partner because as you go on years and years and years, you evolve as a person. So y'all met each other maybe 2 years ago. You're not the same person you was 2 years ago.
That's
The
true.
relationship is not the same. You are not the same.
Mhm.
So in order for you to continue on, trying to make this work, you need to be coming to each other and speaking to each other. Hey, is there anything that I can do that I'm not doing? Is there, something that you may need from me now, because you are a different person that maybe you didn't need before,
Right.
like those type of things. So it isn't just for single people, it's for people in relationships too. You have to know what you want. You have to continue to communicate,
Mhm.
and just always ask, is there anything that I could do, that maybe I'm not doing? Just have those conversations and make sure that everyone stays on one page. And if something isn't working for you or something you don't like, be upfront and honest about it. Instead of going through the motions because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Like they might be hurt for a little bit, but in the long run, you do them a favor. Don't waste time. That type of thing.
So
Just
communication,
communicate.
yeah. So communication
Whether
is
you're single,
like,
whether you're in a relationship, communication is key. Communication and comprehension. 'Cause you
yeah,
can communicate all day.
yeah. That's true.
But
That's
if
true.
y'all are not
That's
on the
true,
same
right.
brain wave and you guys
Yeah.
don't understand
You
certain
talking to
things,
a brick wall.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know who said it, but I think somebody said when you are having a conversation and you're speaking to somebody,
Mm.
instead of responding or being so quick to respond, you say, hey, what I heard you say was, so that way, whatever you heard them say, if it's not what they actually meant, what they meant for you to take from it, you guys can talk it out and kind of, so that you guys can be on the same understanding.
Right.
As opposed to automatically assume that you understand what they said because, some of us are not good with getting our words out. Some of us are not good with saying the right thing or being politically correct when we speak. So, just keep that in mind also. Comprehension is key.
Right. Right. And not just interpreting something some way, or you know what, or like even like through like text messages, like if you send like a whole paragraph and then that person sent back just that one line that you said, and you like, bro, I sent you a whole catalog, like a whole Bible scripture,
Well,
and
I'ma
you sent
tell you
that
this.
one line.
Men in particular, women will read everything, okay, and will answer everything. But men, they gonna pick one thing. Matter of fact, they gonna pick the last thing out that whole paragraph and be like, you're like, oh, I see you with that girl, and you bought her this and you did that and this and that. You bought her a cheeseburger with some fries and this. First off, I only bought her some fries. Like that's the type of stuff that they
Right.
do, and it's like that's all you got out of that
Right.
whole paragraph. So yeah, like I said, comprehension
Right.
is so important. So yeah.
No, for real. No, for real. So I said, what else? I guess that's about it. Look like.
I mean, I
Yeah,
know
you
there's
pretty much
plenty
touched
of
on, yeah,
there's
you
plenty
pretty
of
much touched on.
other things too, but I think those are more the main things. The culture that we live in,
Right.
the social media aspect, and how it's so easy to be able to, meet new people nowadays,
Yeah.
and things like that, and then just like you said, TV, social media.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, TV, the reality TV.
Mhm.
You know, 90 Day Fiance. That's
Right.
but that stuff don't never work out.
Right.
So it's like you're constantly watching things where failed relationships happen, and it's like, how could you be optimistic about your own situations or
Right.
things like that? So
When every time you go on the Shade Room or TMZ or whoever your people are that you get your stuff from, it's
Yeah.
always somebody broke up. I seen somebody in the club with whoever. Or somebody. It's never like
And another thing that we didn't touch on too is outside people in your ear.
outside
And
influences.
That's a good one. That's a good one too.
Yeah,
That's a good one
yeah,
too.
outside influences, because one thing that I do, that I learned from my mom, and that I do like that she does, like a lot of, I don't bring a lot of relationship things to her or anything like that. I mean, because she tells me, she's like, Nia, like, when I was coming up and when I was with your dad, like, we didn't have this, that, and
Right.
this. So I can't even give you
Yeah,
advice on what's
'cause it's
going on right
different,
now, because
right.
I couldn't even fathom your dad having an Instagram
Yeah,
and
it's different.
scrolling and looking at all these women
Yeah.
pictures with their booty out and everything. She said, I couldn't even fathom. So it's like, she's like, I can give you some advice as far as generic type things, or what we did in my time, but it doesn't really help you, because it's a totally different, y'all are up against totally different demons than we were back
Yeah.
then. And then too, like I said, just having family in your relationship, getting in your ear, friends in your ear, telling, girl, leave him, I seen him with so and so, da 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 da. And it's like, you're in a relationship with that person.
right.
I'm not saying you can't get outside advice, but don't hold it with such a big weight, because if you know you're gonna be with them, you don't want to, cause friction with your friends and friction with your family and things like that. So it's just kind of like, that's another thing. Outside influence is big on why it's hard for us to date and be successful too.
I feel a lot of women mess up by telling their friends and family like everything that goes on, because especially like it's one thing to like share like little things, like maybe you're going through whatever, you need somebody to vent to, but have somebody to vent to, you know what I'm saying? But like I feel like a lot of times, like especially like women, like they vent to the wrong people. So you may vent to like your mama, your whoever, you know what I'm saying, your best friend, and guess what? When you forgive that nigga,
There you go.
they not gonna forgive
They're
him.
not ever
you know
gonna
what I'm saying?
forgive, because they love you, and he hurt you once, she hurt you once. Oh no, ain't no coming back from that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I agree.
Right, for
That is
sure.
very important.
For sure.
You got to be mindful of what you say around people, and and if you do want to talk about a situation, say, hey, mom, let me talk to you. My friend, she da 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 da.
Yeah,
and
something
do
like
it that way to
Yeah.
at least be able to expel and get it out,
Right.
and then
Right.
whatever. So
Right, because like I said, you as a woman,
You'll
You'll
forgive.
forgive him,
Oh, yeah.
but then like your family always gonna sit there. Thanksgiving, he come around, your family sitting there like, damn.
yeah,
He
why you
he
still
did
with
this,
him?
yeah.
Da 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 da.
And
it's
then I'm
like,
sitting there like, dang, like
Yeah,
you know what I'm
when
saying? She
things are
forgave
good,
me, like,
that too.
but y'all can't forgive me, like.
And then when things are good, you don't want that negativity in your ear.
Yeah, that's true,
things
that's
are
true too, that's
good
true
and
too.
You got
Yeah,
them.
you
Why
don't need
with
nobody-
him?
yeah.
He ain't nothing. He gonna cheat on you again. Da, da. And then that sparks for your insecurities inside of you and things. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just telling people just in general. I guess people should just find like people need a therapist. You need to talk to
People need to talk to a therapist about
their problems.
Or you
like,
just need,
or just
if you
one-
have that
or
one
one
person
person,
that you know
right.
that you can vent to, and
Yeah,
they're
or
gonna be
something
on
like
your
that,
side no
but
matter
yeah.
what, or and I mean on your side as far as like whatever you choose, as long as you're happy type thing, like those are the people that you need to vent to, or those are the people that are not gonna be like, or just listen and don't maybe not tell you like you need to break up with him or her or whatever. Just those are the people, not the ones that are gonna be like, oh hell no, like you have a
Right.
fuck that nigga, da, da, da. Like,
Oh, another thing we didn't talk on is what about money? Like how much does money and financial security play in relationships nowadays too? Because you might not get with, because like relationships. See, a person might be a really good, genuine person, but if they don't have no money, you might not want to fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Or they might not be they be in a place where you would like them to be at. Like maybe they coming up but they ain't there yet, and you like, dang, he a really good dude, but he ain't got, But do you feel like that could fuck it up, because maybe this dude, he might be the one for you,
yeah.
or maybe
But you
down the line,
bypass
but
it
like you like,
because-
damn, he ain't making this much, so
That's true.
you
That's
know?
true. But and I mean I think that all has to do with like the social media and the culture that we live in.
Mm.
You know, if a man has more money and he's able to buy you that Birkin bag and this and that, he's superior to the man that actually takes care of your soul and makes you feel, you know, like the queen that you are and this and that. So I mean that all has to play with that, our culture and where we're in. And yeah, I think it does kind of mess some things up. You know, kind of blinds you a little bit. You know. And it doesn't allow you to see people for who they really are.
And it goes for, you know, it goes for both sides, I think, because like men they look at women, they don't see them for who, they don't see women for who they are. They see women for like their body, you know, what they have, you know what, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And then women, they look at men like, nigga, do you have a fucking job? Do you have a car? Do you have this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're not really looking at me as a person and my true well-being and wanting to get to know me. You wondering if I got all this shit. Yeah.
You know, and then too, it depends on what you want. If you're in a state in your life as a woman and all you want is, you know, someone to take care of you and this and that, then you're not gonna look for the person that has all the potential but may not have it right now. You know, if you're looking for something long term and, you know, he checks all the boxes, but he does only have, you know, I don't know, you know, a medium type job or whatever, like not a lot of money, but he gets by. Like it might not mean that much to you, and especially if you're working, you guys are working as a team. So it just I don't know, it just kind of depends on what the girl is looking for at the time or guy.
Yeah. So do you feel like it's no romance? I mean, no, was it no finance without romance? Was it no romance
without
finance?
finance?
Yeah, no romance without finance. Yeah.
Yes and no, because if you really like a girl, you can find things to do that are more sentimental than financial. You know, I don't feel like you have to spend a whole hundreds of dollars to take a woman out and make her feel special or anything like that. You could go to green jean, whatever what's it called?
Really, Gringos?
No, I was gonna say Jean Green Park is on the east side. But you can go to any of the parks, you know, lay out a blanket, you know, get a bottle of wine, have some fruits, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's real inexpensive things that you can do to just let her know, you know, I just want to enjoy your company and things like that. And if you got a good girl, she's gonna appreciate it, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you do have that side to where, you know, some men they don't want to spend all that money to take you out and this and that, and girls get turned off by that. You don't even want to take me to go eat, like, you know, you don't want to. I don't know.
And that goes back to the options, because if you may have, so check this out, if you're a woman and you may have had a fucking basketball player or somebody with some status and some money, right? And then you go back to, y'all break up, shit fizzle out, and then you go back to a regular ass nigga.
It's not gonna be
the whole. I feel like damn, like even like that whole time, like I mean, people touch you in different ways and stuff, but still, I feel like you still gonna be like, damn, like. Damn, at one point I had me somebody that had this.
Well, I think that also,
like,
yeah, and that goes to knowing your worth in a sense. Like, you know, kind of, if you had that before, you know that you can get it again, and you don't settle for nothing less type thing, you know.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think it's all about what you can buy for me or what you can do like that. It's just how you make me feel, you know. We can sit and have a conversation and that type of thing. That should be more important than if he can buy this, that, and the third. Because I mean, I know guys that don't make six figures and this and that, but they woman ain't hurting for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's because they connect on a level. She stayed down. They work together to spoil each other. It's not just one-sided. So, you know, it just depends.
Do you think nowadays men look for women with money nowadays?
I think it's more common now, yeah. And especially if you're a man with status, you want somebody at your level. You don't, I mean, you know, it's a lot of men, and I've heard it, you know, we looking for women that own businesses too. We looking for women that, you know, this and that. I don't want a woman that I gotta support and, you know, do everything for. I want her to be able to bring something to the table. Like, I want her to, she's a representation of me. So I want her to be on her shit.
Right.
I'm on my shit, she should be on her shit.
Right, because back in the day, it was men were more so okay with taking care of women.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They were.
You know, they were more okay with the woman stay at home and take care of the kids, and he go out and, you know, whatever. And then again, I feel like that since that dynamic kind of changed and women started getting up and getting their own money and stuff. Because keep this in mind. If a man if you stay with a man, right, and he paying all your bills, and you're fully dependent on this man, like you can't do shit without him, you can't spend a dime without him.
Yeah.
You are basically like under his control. Like whatever the fuck he do, he can leave, come back. What are you gonna say? What can you do? You know what I'm saying? So
he
like,
can do whatever he want, whenever he want.
yeah, because he got control over you. Cause shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then like nowadays, with women having their own, now they don't have to put up with, damn, you been gone all night, where you been at type shit. You know what I'm saying? At first, I feel like women had to take it because they felt more obligated too. Because first of all, they couldn't, and then you know, and then before social media, you didn't have a lot of options. The only people that you met were people in your neighborhood, grocery store, at school, at church.
And 9 times out of 10, everybody knew each other. So.
Right. So in your community, you pretty much know each other. So most of the people that were together was like high school sweethearts. That's where you get that stuff, you know. But nowadays, you know, I feel like women aren't dependent on men anymore. You know what I'm saying? Women not dependent on men as much as they used to be. And then that made men more like, well, shit. You know
I don't
what
have
I'm
to do
saying?
as much.
Yeah.
There you go. That's true. Go hand in hand.
Right.
Yeah, go hand in hand.
So basically, wrapping all this up.
Yeah.
So basically, so to fix all this is, so you said, first of all, focus on yourself, work on yourself.
Yeah. Get
right.
yourself back whole, you know, so where you're confident with yourself, you're happy with yourself in every aspect of your life, and happy with what you bring to the table, you know, for yourself and things, and then, you know, figuring out what it is that you actually want out of a partner.
Right. So knowing what you want. So knowing yourself and then knowing what you want too out of somebody.
Yeah.
And then also probably like with what you want, what you don't want. You know.
Oh yeah, that's just as equally as important.
You know what you don't want. You know, and standing on what you don't want, and holding people accountable for that shit. You know, because if you keep allowing this shit to happen, shit ain't nothing ever gonna change. And you're gonna keep being in these toxic relationships, and nothing's ever gonna change if you don't stand up and be like, you know, you teach people how to treat you. So, you know, if you keep allowing people to treat you whatever kind of way, then they're gonna keep doing it, you know? So take care of yourself.
Yeah. Know what you want, know what you don't want, and don't settle.
And don't settle. All right, y'all. Well, this that video. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that. And yeah, we'll be in the next video. Bye, y'all.